Actually, I don't think identity is that simple. I think it's more of a mix of things rather than just one specific identity. But if I had to choose, definitely. So I'm originally Hungarian, but I have been living abroad since I was 17. And I currently live in Valencia, Spain, and I really hope I get to stay here. But I think a big part of my identity is a mix of different European cultures. So I would say definitely more European than Hungarian for sure. I didn't actually think about, having a European identity or not. I haven't really gone into kind of a self-analysis about this, but a couple of years ago I was seeing a doctor of mine for an appointment, and we were just talking about life in general, and I was already living here in Valencia, and he mentioned it. He said that he thinks of me as more European than Hungarian, and that kind of triggered a bit of a self-analysis and a self-reflection on the matter. And I think there's so many moments because, as I said, I've been living abroad since I was 17, and there's so many things that come together. And I think being a European for me is being or having participated in many different countries' cultures. So having a part of me that's more English, having a part that's more Dutch, for instance, or more Spanish for that matter. I think it's a really complex issue, so I couldn't really name one. But that specific moment in my doctor's office made me really think about it. When considering recent history, I would say post-World War II. And I think there were quite a few difficult moments or points of possible conflict. I think one of the difficult times was in 1956, at least from a Hungarian point of view, that we had the revolution on the 23rd of October in 56, and nobody really came to the aid of that little country. Nobody in Europe, nobody from abroad. So, of course, there are a lot of political plays and mind games at play there. But still, it was a shame to kind of see that. But I think most importantly, current times are really challenging and maybe the worst ever, because Europeans have become so polarized, not just as countries, but within their own countries, considering politics, societal changes, religion. So many people disagree on so many things. So it's not even at the levels of high politics. It's more on the level of the individual that I think we've become too, polarized, segregated, and it would be a shame to see the European project coming to a difficult end like this. For me, the best moment is definitely memorable. I remember when Hungary joined the EU along with 9 other countries, and that was a big victory, I think, even though on an economic and political level I might not agree. Being an economist myself, I know that some countries might not have been ready for that step, but being able to join that community and also then being able to join the Schengen states, not having to show my passport when crossing into Austria, feeling that freedom, I think that was an incredible feeling for someone who grew up in a post-socialist country. Besides the many, many benefits that I think exist for not just me, but all people in general, especially young people with the Erasmus programs and all that, it's, I think, having allowed me to move to a country that I love here in Spain and being able to build a life here without all the excessive paperwork. I mean, it's still incredibly bureaucratic here, but that's just Spain. But in general, being able to move freely, being able to benefit from exchange programs, being able to cross borders with no hesitation, sometimes even without paperwork. Having that liberty in general is what allowed me not only to travel, but to be the person I am. While I think there are many goals that we could have and could strive for to achieve by 2030, just in general, having leaders come together and having a real mature, grown-up and honest conversation and being able to iron out the differences, or at least identify the differences and how to go about them, would be crucial, because that's the only way that we can move forward to tackle different problems, like how we're going to deal with climate change on a European level, or how we're going to deal with the resulting migration or other issues. And a specific thing that I think would be great if we were to accomplish it by 2030 is signaling to countries that their actions have consequences. Because right now I see countries like Hungary and Poland going forward with measures that are not just harmful for the country and their population, but to the whole concept of European ideas and what we actually identify ourselves with. And being able to signal to these countries and to any other country that the rules are there for a reason, and breaking them is going to have consequences for them, would be a massive step forward.